Twist and Shout.
Twist and Shout.
The most famous supernatural fanfiction of all time.
It's so beautifully written. Genuinely a very heart-wrenching story.
And I heard some things about it, like, sad, and I was like, oh, I've read Alone on the Water, which was the Sherlock one, and that one I was like, I was like, hey, Twist and Shout, woo, let's go read this. It's so famous. That was...
So when I heard that Twist and Shout was, oh, this epic of pain, I was just like, I'm fine. I can deal. I've read Alone on the Water. It's fine. That was not fine. I was unprepared for how not fine that was.
Haven't read it yet? Don't. Spare yourself. If you're a Supernatural fan and you haven't read it yet, spare yourself. Don't read it. It was one of the most beautiful fanfictions I've ever read, but oh!
Why is it so famous? Well, there's a couple of reasons for this. Number one, it's genuinely well written. There's no part of it where you go, sometimes when you read fanfiction and you get to like the 10th chapter and you just say like, I can do better than this. Number two, because it's an AU, it feels like a normal book. The third reason, which is the most well known, I think, is the fact that it is genuinely moving. It also feels quite realistic. You can picture these events happening. These characters will be put in this position and this kind of thing will be quite real. Point 4, as a book, it was an interesting study on love.
Incredibly sweet and beautifully written. But at midnight, I finished it and I shut down my device, looked around the room, walked into the kitchen out there, and I broke down sobbing. I cried myself to sleep that night, and I actually still find reason to get teary-eyed about it now. It's quite cleverly written because something happens and it doesn't outright tell you what's going on. And by the time you get to chapter 12, oh, you are in pieces. I was in pieces. I was in pieces for the next few days after I read that. I just genuinely couldn't cope with anything.
Oh, right in the feels.
So devastating and so beautiful, and I'm going to use the word haunting because it sticks with you. It's genuinely that good.